everyone, welcome to my talk, and we're going to discuss a bit about how we can enable safety to our document assistant with Azure AI Services. Let's get started, shall we? My name is Shavin. I'm a senior software engineer in Microsoft Industrial AI, which is the group that we are developing and leveraging different AI technologies into application and solutions that tailor to industrial specific. And I have been working in the web and high tech for more than 10 years, focusing mainly on the front end and also on the back end. I'm also published author. If you really want to learn a new, cool, lightweight, and fast and awesome framework for the front end, check out my latest release book, Learning View. It's all been released on last January. I'm also a Google Developer Expert, Cloud Leader Ambassador, and Vue.js Israel Community Organizer. You can follow me on Twitter or LinkedIn at Maya Shavin, or check out my blog at mayashavin.com. And that's enough about myself. Okay, let's talk about our document assistant. We can call it document Q&A chat. So this is a very simple form of document Q&A chat where user ask and I answer. No, not really AI answer the user. And the answers, they have to be within a document range, which means the document can be from the user or the document can be predefined by the company or by me for my system. So for this document Q&A chat, we have two phases. With the first phase, also the very important phase, is the injection phase. This injection process, what it does is it receives a set of document or a single document, upload it, chunk it, index it into a relevant chunks with the metadata, with the right embedded, either use vector or semantic, and put it in the search database so that whenever user querying, asking a questions, the system will know how to find the relevant chunks, and then together with the questions, which is the query from the user, it will send to the AI and will receive back the summarization, add the answer, and send it back to the user. And that is the second process of querying. So this is document Q&A chat. We only have two phases. And in this talk, we're not going to discuss about the injections phase, assuming that whatever document it will receive for the system is already legitimate, whether it's a document from the industry or from the user, it's already being legitimate enough and safe enough so that we can query and send it to the AI. In this talk, we focus more about the querying phase, where we have a question input and an answer as an output from the querying process. So what can go wrong from here? Well, let's take a bit about our next example and a disclaimer. The next slide can be a bit sensitive and offensive for some people. If you feel in that way, please know this is not intended and it's purely for the demo and as an example, nothing is opinionated from us or from me. Okay. Sometimes user can feel a bit tricky and want to mess up with the AI system. So one of the questions can be, what a three-way man outperform woman? You would think, okay, this sounds a little bit, a bit not normal, but not something right. Well, it's actually a hate speech. And it can go even worse with some people just need to be slapped, a bit of violence, and also hate speech, both of them. Or even getting more and more offensive, like this example, both violent and hate speech, but at a different level. This can be the input, and it also can be the output content to feed the user. So both the user and the AI are in risk of consuming wrong data. And that's why we need content moderation. Okay. Content moderation or responsible AI is the process and approach that Microsoft introduced to help developers and like us, to develop, assess, and deploy AI system in a safe, trustworthy, and ethical manner. It contains a lot of guidelines and examples that divide it into 6 categories: fairness, reliability, safety, privacy, security, inclusiveness, transparency, and accountability, for us to check our AI system before we deploy to productions. And with this approach, we have content moderations that require to add content filtering on the input, which can be the query, the prompt, and on the output, which is the answer from the AI itself. And from this guideline, it comes down to 6 different categories: hate, sexual violence, self-harm, jailbreak, and parkour is more like additional thing. Jailbreak is more in about the scenario where you're trying to execute some code that can harm the AI and the system. Block word is more about blocking any word that you consider is to be extremely, regardless the context, extremely offensive, and you don't want to the content to contain these words. So in our demo today and our talk today, we will talk mainly about these main 4 categories. Okay. So how are we going to implement this into our process, into our AI system? Well, we have Azure AI Content Safety. This is a new service from Azure AI Services, which allow is smart service that allow to detect harmful content from the user and from the AI generated prompts and contents. And it has the SDK for REST API for JavaScript and TypeScript, also an SDK for C#, Java, and also for Python. It has 2 main API, the text and image analyzing API. There's another API called Jailbreak API, but it's still on preview. Hopefully it will be public preview very soon. Meanwhile, text and image analyzing is to help you to analyze text and image content so to avoid any harmful content. Studio experience, it give you a very nice studio experience that allow you to experiment different prompts and different categories, severity levels, so that you know what kind of level for each category you are willing to go for your AI system. And it also provides some kind of monitoring status, performance inside the studio for you as developer to understand what kind of harmful content your system has been dealing with and how the performance going on over time. And it supports different language, not just English, a lot of different language, including Chinese and I think also Vietnamese and so on. And this is super cool. Okay, so how Azure AI Content Safety handle these 4 categories? For hate, sexual violence, and self-harm, for each of this category here, Azure OpenAI defined the severity level at 4 different severity levels: safe, low, medium, and high, represented by the number 0, 2, 4, and 6. So by right, the low level is not extremely low. It's offensive, but it's a bit of low offensive, like kind of maybe not. Still, this is the 4 category that you can define for your AI system to make sure that the analyzer can check whether this content is matching with what your system are aiming for content moderations. So how we implement it in our code? Well, first we need to install Azure REST/AI Content Safety into our JavaScript project. And next, let's check it out, our demo. In our demo, we're going to build an Azure serverless function, using Azure REST AI Content Safety that doing content analysis. Okay, so in this one, I have a function called analyze, which what it does, it just trigger content analyzer and return the result. In content analyzer, I will implement 3 things: create the request, check the request if there's any error, throw, and then if none, Then we will analyze the result according to our severity level that we're aiming for, and then return the analyzed result. It will not decide for you whether this content match your level. It's just telling you that this content is considered at which severity level. So in here, I already set an enum which on the level 0, 2, 4, and 6. And I define for my own what acceptance level I have. So I start with on low. But again, depends on how the sensitivity you want to have for your system. It can be medium or high. What it means by low is actually mean that I don't care about maybe not. I catch on whatever is considered a little bit offensive. I also catch it. Okay. So I also get the credential and the client from the credential and the key and the endpoint. All of this we can get it after you install it, after you create the instance in Azure Content Safety in the Azure portal. So let's create a request first. So I'm going to create a request using the body with a body and a text content, and that's it. And then next I'm going to send the request away. Yes, client add. I'm calling the text analyze, and I send a post request with our request parameter. Okay. So this, when I get the response, I will check if it's any error throws. So unexpected is the function imported from the package, which will tell you if there's any unexpected error. And in this way, I'll just rethrow it. And then after everything is going well, I will analyze the result. So for analyze the result, I will have content. I need to get all the categories analysis from the response body and categories analysis. Okay. And so I will also say if I have category, one of that I don't need, I will first get the category name, which is categories. Oh, no, this is already off. Okay, so they say category. Okay, and then I will do another one called severity equal to severity, and then I also get the acceptance level from the category as key of type of acceptance level. Okay, and then I will do severity in like different from 0 equals 0, basically like this. Okay, then if it's equal, because the severity can be undefined, so I would say if it's not undefined and severity larger than acceptance level, I do filter and then I push it to the filter category, and lastly return it. Okay, good. And now if once I do it, I can see that it started and initialize again. And we can try it if it works. So I will send a query. Sorry. I will send a queries that are very offensive text to the Analyze API. I will not read the text here, but so you know this text is very offensive. And I will do wait for that. And it's executing. And then you can see that return results say the filter have to be refiltered, and its filter category is hate and violence. So now I know this input is not safe at all. Okay. So this is when I know that I already have a content that I need to be filled or I need to stop right there. So how are you going to put it in the document jest flow? So for example, in here, I have an API called ask. So this API will do one thing. It will get the answer from the query. The get answer is the functions that contain the internal logic of fetching the relevant chunks, send it to the AI, and get back the answer. I don't care about that. For that, I need to intercept in the input, which from the input, I will also get the input from contents analyzing, a filter in the input and return it accordingly. And I've also filtered in the output, and instead of returning the answer, if there's a sensitive, harmful output, I will just return a different status and different message. Okay, so let's try. So in this example for this demo, I have a very sensitive one called, yeah, you deserve to die. And that's a very sensitive content. And that's supposed to not return to user. So if I'm going to do something like this, so instead of doing the whole thing, I'm saying I am feeling happy. Okay. And then I will go to ask. Then it will say, I'm sorry, I cannot provide the answer because the answer is extremely harmful. And that's it for our demo. So how do we integrate into the orchestration flow? And we can see in the Ask API, we have a query input going through the orchestration get answer. The orchestration here included embedded query, search for the relevant chunk, and pass it to the AI to ask for summation together with input, and then return the output to the user. So for that, for the orchestration, we can use LangChain to make the whole pipeline for orchestrate our get answer flow, and to add our content safety inside it, we just need to add in the beginning, in the end, using like moderate the query and moderate the output. So we don't return the output until we analyze it, and we don't pass it to the main pipeline if we don't analyze the input and sanitize it. And both of these we are using AI Azure Content Safety. Okay, what are the options apart from Azure AI Content Safety? There's another one. If you are using Azure OpenAI service, they have another features called content filtering, which is a built-in Azure OpenAI feature that offer by default enable on every Azure OpenAI service model, except for Whisper. So if you're using Whisper, you probably need to implement Azure Content Safety on top of that. Hopefully, it will be enabled very soon. It well trained and tested for 6 languages, and by right, it's supposed to work with more languages, but it's not well tested, so it's not guaranteed. You can customize it only using the Studio experience, Azure OpenAI Studio, and there's no code required in this side. So in the Studio, you can create a custom content filtering like template, and then you can play around with what kind of severity thresholds that you want to set for your content safety. However, you cannot disable any category thresholds here. If you want, you need to get a proper approval from Microsoft. Okay, so which one is better? Azure AI Content Safety or Azure OpenAI Content Filter? Well, first of all, Azure AI Content Safety is a standalone service. You can plug it in every AI flow. Okay, so which one is better, Azure AI Content Safety or OpenAI Content Filter? Well, everything have a trade-off. So Azure AI Content Safety, first of all, is a standalone service. So it definitely can be used to integrate into non-Azure. However, for Azure OpenAI content filters, you have to use Azure OpenAI because this is the features of Azure OpenAI services. And For Azure AI Content Safety, it supports a lot more language than Azure OpenAI Content Filter, but I believe in the future it will be almost the same or more or less like that. As a standalone service, Azure AI Content Safety have offer you the full admin control over content moderation, whether you want to plug into your orchestration pipeline or whether you don't want to plug in and take it apart or turn everything to low or disable one of the category. However, for Azure OpenAI Content Filter, the maximum you can do is to set it to low, and you cannot remove any category severity thresholds because it's built-in and it's by default everything has to be at low level, and you need to have special Microsoft approval for that. And also, Azure AI Content Safety is the code approach. With the studio is only for testing and code generation, while Azure OpenAI Content Filter is actually a no-code approach where you just use the studio to config. So the admin of the customer, if you develop an application for external customer, the admin can control what level for them, the acceptance for them. And then lastly, Azure Content Safety as a standalone service will include extra costs if you add it into your pipeline. While if you already use Azure OpenAI, it will not give you extra cost. It will not require you to enable another subscriptions or another plan or so. It already included in the service plan itself. Okay, so what is the next step? So you can see that everything have a trade-off. So it really depends on what your target projects, what is the target of your project or your AI system aiming to do, then you can implement it. If your system is already used Azure OpenAI's service inside, then you probably don't need Azure AI Content Safety in addition, because you can enable that feature by inside Azure OpenAI. But if you are using extra other AI services like OpenAI native or Hugging Face or I don't know, some other AI, then you probably should use Azure AI Content Safety to enhance the layer of protection for your content and for your AI. And as you can see, AI application need monitoring regardless for safety and monitoring. And even though content moderation can feel the most, but you can see at the low level, the content is still pretty much offensive. It really depends on the human who read it or feel it to decide what level of offensive it will be. And this means that you can trust it, but you always need to verify manually with different human analyzer, to see whether the content is really makes sense to them, whether the safety level makes sense to them, and always verify before rolling out to production, because you never know what's going on there. And lastly, try Azure Content Safety out. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed my talk and have a nice day.